Good afternoon, everybody. I am Richard Kuhns, author of How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons, Chronic Lyme, and Other Skin Parasites. Along with me is my co-host, Robin, who's been with me, I guess, over, a year or so. And I'm so grateful to have her with us. And also our greeting coach, Ethel, who was on earlier, who is also a phenomenal, fantastic person. A week ago, I had put out an email asking for volunteers. We need more coaches, and I got a couple of gracious replies, and people have had experience. And with us today, our new coach is Megan. And Megan, are you with us?
Thanks. I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Good, good. Well, thanks for volunteering. Let me ask you a few questions. How long were you suffering from skin parasites?
Well, to be truthful with you, I had Morgellons for about 7 years now, but I was asymptomatic up until about 2.5 years ago. I had no idea I even had it. So,
so about 2.5 years ago, and how did it manifest itself? What were your symptoms? How did it affect your life?
Well, at first it wasn't that big of a deal. It kind of seemed like it was skin fungus, mostly on my feet, and I even took antifungals, and it always went away with the treatment for the first several months. And I also I had a bunch of strange flaky rashes around my nose, and like severe itching in that area too. So.
And then it accelerated and got worse.
Oh my God, yeah, it got way worse. I over the course of like 6 months, it went from just thinking it's skin fungus to thinking my hair's alive. It was bad. I felt crawling from toe, and I ended up blind for several months because they were in my eyes too.
So you lost your sight. How did it affect your life in general? Your work life, your home life. What kind of impact?
Oh man, I was in full-time nursing school, and I was working full-time as a bartender and a nurse. And man, really quickly, within a few months, I lost everything. And I had to drop out, and I couldn't complete my bachelor's anymore because I couldn't stop itching myself, in public. It was awful.
What kind of treatments, other treatments, did you go to doctors? What kind of other things did you do before you found our program?
Oh, man, doctors, yeah. You guys have been talking about this lady lately, who went to 20 different doctors, and whoa, I blow her out the water. I've seen like
oh, really?
over 50 just in that first year. I mean, I was obsessively going to doctors because, my mom and my sister have been in the medical field their whole lives, and I was convinced someone was going to help me. I got thrown in the psych ward, 4 times in that process.
Wow. That must have been tremendously embarrassing.
Well, it was and it wasn't. I mean, I'm extremely stubborn, so I went straight to every doctor, the second I realized what it was. And I'm like, look, my hair moves on its own. I have parasites. And I just kept doing it. So, well, other than, telling them that I had some type of skin parasite, at first I thought all my hair was alive. So that was, my go-to line. My hair's alive. That didn't work out for me so well.
So you would recommend people who go to doctors not mention that their hair is alive?
Absolutely.
Right? Or how about, would you recommend they suggest that maybe they have skin parasites?
No.
50 times over, right?
Oh
no.
Boy. And I even got a few doctors to test me for parasites, believe it or not.
And what kind of tests did they run, and what were their findings?
They found absolutely nothing. They tested me for everything from scabies to like a canthamoeba, which is like a trophozoite.
So your tip to everybody would be forget looking for a diagnosis?
Absolutely. It is such a waste of time and energy, and you're going to end up getting hurt.
So you were kind of ousted from you were called the crazy one in the family, or am I putting words in your mouth?
Oh, no. You're definitely not putting words in my mouth. Everyone, even my father, who was always on my side, told me I'm nuts. He sees nothing, and yeah, it's been a rocky road.
Did anyone accuse you of using drugs?
Oh, yeah. Just about everyone. Even though I had
really?
been drug testing on probation at the time.
So did you try any other treatments for Morgellons before you found us?
Oh, yeah. I tried ivermectin on my own. That turned into like a daily thing. I took the pill and the topical several times, and it seemed to get a little better. And, and then it got worse. Of course, I Googled everything online, and I tried every single thing that every Joe Schmo said that worked, right down to baking soda. And, of course, everything works for a day.
It's terrible, isn't it? Last week we talked about the wild goose chases, and it looks like you went on all of them. That's the important thing, is that this program is not about wild goose chases. So how long ago was it that you found my book and got into the program?
Well, the first time I started your program was about a year and a half ago, actually. I was completely blind at the time. Well, about a week after I found your book online, obviously. Can't find a book online blind, but, I started reading, and I got about to page 7, and I'm going, this guy knows what he's talking about. I'm trying to get my boyfriend to read me your book, and, it didn't work out so well. So it was one of those things where if I could see that day, I read another page. So the protocol didn't, go perfectly the first time around. It took me about 10 months before I even got anywhere.
Wow, and a lot of that was because of your limited sight.
And no one would read.
Did you have brain fog?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when we get our new book out, we're looking for volunteers to read. I'd asked for volunteers some time ago, had several people volunteer, but that, based on your experience, that seems to be a pretty big must to get this book in audio form. So
yes.
It was a horrendous 10 months that you went through. And so once you started with the program, tell us your experience with the program, the diet, the disinfecting, the bathing, and all of what you did.
Well, when I finally started bathing and using the debriding soap, it took about a month or so, but it did open my eyes back up all the way. I finally had my vision back. I had to wash my face several times a day, for, about a month before I had that back. And all my sores that I had for over a year on my face went away within a month, too. So I just had to keep it up. As far as disinfecting went, I wasn't able to start that for about another month or so. But, of course, I didn't get very far until I could start disinfecting.
You were able to put all three things together, and did you take advantage of any of the supplements?
I've done everything from the glutathione, which, oh, my God, changed my life. It really did, to the MSM capsules. Garcillin, I take that every other month still.
When you and I talked before, we were talking about diet, and you didn't actually stick strictly with the King diet. You kind of discovered your own diet. Is that correct?
Well, like I said, I kind of only, read bits and pieces of your book in the beginning. It was so difficult. But I did kind of, understand that it was food-related, so I started, keeping track of everything I ate that would activate my symptoms on my own. And it basically turned out to be the outline of the King diet, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You did exactly what I did. You kept a note what activates them, what didn't activate them, and how long did it take you to figure out the diet for yourself?
Honestly, it took me a long time. By the time I was actually able to read about the King diet, it was about a year in. So, and I still, didn't know about the oils or anything like that, and I realize now that anytime I eat oil, it does upset my stomach. So I'm still kind of, working at it now.
Well, Richard,
so,
it took you like 2 years, right?
Well, yeah, it's, on and off 2 years because you have the time dilation effect. You can get totally free of any symptoms, then eat something, and it might take up to a week before you react to it. And you got to think back. You got to look back in that diary. What the heck did I eat? And you just have to be like a detective if you're discovering the diet by yourself.
With brain fog and going blind, every other week, it's not easy.
It absolutely. I mean, it's incredible, and I'm so glad that you're sharing your experience because many people can relate with this. And if you can do it, being basically blind and with no support family, I mean, there's no reason why no one else can do it. They just have to buckle up and do it, right?
Absolutely. It's worth it, I promise. I know it's really difficult. You're like, I can't possibly do all this in a day, but if you don't step up and do it all every day, it's not going to work.
Well, Robin, do you have any questions for Megan?
No, I really don't. But Megan, I'm so grateful that you want to give back and coach people because it's such a great need. And in fact, just today I had people I was talking to and coaching say, do you know anyone who's gotten well? And of course I do, but most people get their life back and then they disappear because they don't want to have to deal with it anymore.
It's like post-traumatic stress disorder. You just want to get that, you don't want to ever think about it or talk about it. It's a bad nightmare.
Right.
So
right.
I can understand that, and I welcome you to the coaching staff, and your experience will be very rich for many people looking for help and direction. So anything else that you'd like to share, Megan?
Well, no, I want to thank you for welcoming me on board. For me, I really need to find a purpose and a reason for all my suffering, and I know this is it.
Right. I believe that, too. I think it's for others, for the sake of others. And I'm really grateful. I never thought I'd be grateful that this happened to me, but it's made my life richer, and I've been able to help a lot of people. So, yeah.
And that's great.
So many people have shared with me over the years that they're healthier now and they're in better shape than they were before they had come down with the parasites. That the diet and everything it's just made them better people and healthier people, which is what we're here for, to get your life back. All of us, we want each and every person on this call and everybody that comes into the program to be able to say, hey, I hung in there because you guys, I listened to what you went through, and it's very much like I'm going through, and if you can do it, I can do it.